guys an update with what's going on in my fish room right now. I have a lot of angelfish babies. Yay! So many. So very many angelfish babies. Just like everywhere. Not in there, but they're here. Hooray, look at these guys. These are the oldest ones. These guys were hatched, I want to say, mid-December. But, let's see. Of course, I've got so much reflection going on, but it's okay. And of course, I didn't clean the front of the glass at all, but here we are. Anyway, so here's the parents of 4 of my batches. These guys are the Philippine Blues. And also I've got, let's see if this shows best. Philippine Blue Angels under here. You can kind of see them all chilling in clumps. And then here's some more of the red kois. There we go. I just think they look so funny at this age. They're just sort of clumped together, which I'm assuming is how they would stay, you know, together in the wild if they were being nurtured. But my angelfish parents seem to like to eat their babies instead of, you know, nurturing them. And let's see, fun fact, these two are a pair. I didn't realize this was a female. And that's a boy. I have no idea what their babies would look like. I caught them spawning one time, and the boy literally ate the eggs like while he was fertilizing them. It was super weird. I've got Maltese going, a lot of them. I've got these guys. One second, I'm running out of water in my. Oh, you hear that gross noise? I'm just gonna turn that off. Anyway, back to it, and then so my Aeneas cories breeding all over the place. I've left a few of the eggs in there. I suspect there's probably a ton more. I really expected Charlie here to eat those eggs, but he seems like he's just gonna chill in here and be just fine. I don't know. I don't know what's up with Charlie. He's a funny little guy. But I did scrape off a lot of the eggs. So I put them in the methylene blue bath. I did try before to hatch them outside of the methylene blue bath, but that did not work. So I'm doing the same thing that I do with my angelfish. I put the eggs in the methylene blue with a bubbler. In fact, this is the jar that I usually use for the Philippine Blues. These guys don't breed as often as the red kois, so I figured it's fine to use their jar for the koris. And I think the reason that these guys don't breed as often is because this tank is only at 80 degrees, whereas the red kois are kept with my zebra plecos, who are not old enough to breed yet, but their tank is kept at 85. And so these guys breed like all the time. They've been going pretty much non-stop since late December, and right now, let's see, I think I've got 5 total spawns of theirs, 2 of which were before I had really figured out how to take care of them. And so, like, there's only a few of those babies, those are the oldest ones. Yeah. Something new I'm working on. I found this little attachment thingy on Amazon where you can put your brine shrimp over the rim of the tank, or of a rimless tank. It's specifically for like rimless. And I just decided to turn it on like a dribble. So it's dribbling the brine shrimp all day. And it's, you know, running with a line so that it's, you know, continuing to go. And you can see, like, I have not squirted any in there for them, like into their tank. But their little tummies are full. And there is more brine shrimp in there for whenever anybody needs a snack. And the hope is that if I go on vacation, like if I go out of town for 2 weeks and I need to hire a sitter, that I can just have them come, like show them how to hatch brine shrimp and then fill these things up with the brine shrimp, and then it'll just feed out all day. Alright, and I don't know if anybody's ever wondered how I know if fish are sick, but so the problem with snow white plecos is that they often get, they seem to be highly susceptible to velvet, which is a parasite on their skin. It makes them itchy. And I was actually in Minnesota for a few days over the weekend, and I came back and they were all kind of doing this like wiggly dance. See how they just kind of look irritated and unpleasant. They're all just up here doing this wiggly, 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 wiggly. And I'm like, they don't have a ick. But I know that if they're doing this, that means that their skin is irritated. So I'm like, okay, and I know that these guys are susceptible to velvet. So I'm just treating for velvet right now. I did a water change last night, I did a water change this morning, and they're still going like this. So I'm just using, I would just use straight methylene blue, but I have Ic-X, and Ic-X works, but it needs the light off. So I turn the light off over here, and when I leave, I'll turn the overhead lights off. And I'll just treat them for several days until they stop doing this wiggly wiggly dance. And hopefully they should get better. But while I was in Minnesota, and you know, don't come for me, but I got some, these should be solid gold guppies. I'm not sure if they're technically the 24 karat gold guppies. As they settle in, they're getting more and more of that gold iridescence on them. But I got these guys, and then these, they're calling them purple mosaic guppies. These are the females, that's the male. And then we have these white king tiger guppies, the female. I only got one female. She's in the back there. It's funny, he looks a little bit yellow, but to me he's mostly just white. I think it's partially the lighting. Let's see, and then I also got these guys. See that blue? These are albino blue tail guppies. So I went to a store called Twin Cities Guppies while I was in Minnesota. And it's owned by a gentleman called Keng Lee, who you probably have heard of. very nice. Strangely, he recognized me. So that was cool. And I bought 3 trios of guppies, fancy guppies. These are my blushing tigers. They're doing pretty well. But I bought 3 trios of guppies, the albino blue tails, the gold ones, and the purple mosaics. I bought those guys. And then I was just like, look, I'm just gonna come back the day before I go back home, or the morning before I go back home, and I will pick them up and I will take them on the plane, and I'll just bring them through TSA, let them know I've got guppies to look at, blah, 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 blah. They gave me no issues. They looked at them and then they dusted my hands for chemicals or whatever. And I went through TSA just fine. But anyway, so when I went to pick them up, he gave me the white king tigers as a pair for free. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's super, super sweet. So I guess this, that makes this particular video sponsored by Keng Lee of Twin Cities Guppies in Maplewood Mall. I never thought I would have a sponsored video, but here we are. But look at these guys. I think these ones are my favorite. They weren't in the store when I was there, or I would have picked these out myself. They're doing great. It's been like 2 days. I literally thought I had lost her, but she was just hiding in the back, I think, of this. She's just shy. She's shy. But anyway, so I wanted to get them specifically because I'm so tired of the quality, the poor quality and like boringness of the same old guppies that I have access to from the wholesaler at my work. It's just like, you know, if I can just breed these guppies, then I can start supplying cool guppies to my work. These guys are Neolampologus brevis Sunspot. There's another type of Shelly. I've got 2 kinds of Shelly. He had at Twin Cities Guppies, he had the gold ocellaris Maltese, but they weren't for sale, or I would have picked some up because they are super cool. I feel kind of bad, you guys, because my husband, my wonderful, caring, beautiful husband, got me a Osmo Pocket, Osmo Mobile thingy, and I have not yet spent the time to figure out how to use it. I'm sure it's super cool. I know it's supposed to stabilize my camera, which I'm sure everybody would really appreciate if I would just do. And I have not figured that one out yet. I just need to spend the time to do that. Want to say hi to my turtle? This is Clem. Hi, Clem. Hi, dear. Hey, bud. What you up to? Chilling? Chilling in the plants? If you guys live in a state where it's legal to own one of these, I think this is probably one of the best turtles you could possibly own. Here he is full size. Here he is not eating my Anubiases. Look at that. He is a Mississippi mud turtle, and he is adorable. And he's only like 3 inches. This is his like full grown state of things. Hey bud, are you on camera? Yes you are, you're the best, aren't you? You're the best turtle. He doesn't like to come out of his tank. He did escape once, which is why his tank is set up like Fort Knox. But that's okay. We found him. And also I found that if you have a sheet of this insulation, it really helps keep this a lot warmer. So he's not freezing in the freezing cold basement. And then, oh, let's see. Can I find my glasses? Yes. Oh. And I know I don't show this very much, but there we go. There's my one saltwater tank with Ms. Cinnamon, single lady who has now murdered 2 of her husbands, and her best friend, the Regal Damsel. We've got some GSP, something interesting and cool, and some more GSP. I am not the greatest at the saltwater, but I do like playing with it. Eventually I will have a much bigger system for that. There we go. The thing is though is that my phone does not take a good video of it unless I run it through these yellow glasses. And that's why with my camera setup on it, because of course I've got cameras everywhere, which we've discussed elsewhere on a different video. I've got this yellow film over the lens, and it just makes it so that I can actually see what's going on. Otherwise it's just like blue, ba-ba-dee, ba-ba-da. So anyway, that's the update. Yeah, I came home and these guys looked sick. They're going to shin dance. These guys, they look fine, but I saw one with some weird fins going on. And so I'm giving them the blue stuff as well. Yeah. That's what's going on, guys. So, yeah, so just remember, if you are on vacation in the United States and you decide you need to go to a local fish store, be prepared that, the way to get your fish home through TSA is to make sure and keep them separately in a bag. Keng Lee, being amazing, bagged each of the fish individually, and then like in like 3 fish individuals, but like inside of a bag, and then inside of a shopping bag. So there's a lot of plastic waste going on, but that's the fish industry for you. Just bring them clear bags, clearly labeled, go through TSA, tell them when you get to the lady who checks your ID, like, hey, I have these pet fish, show them in the bag, you know, and then she'll be like, oh, you probably don't want those to go through the scanner. And I was like, no, usually what happens is they just check them and look at them and whatever, and the fish are alive and happy, and then I go through the scanner. Everything else can go through the scanner and it's fine. It's just these fish don't go through the scanner. And then they dust your hands for chemicals, and then it's fine. They give you your fish back and you can go through TSA just fine. I know there's some fuckery happening with TSA or whatever, the airlines and all that. And so I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but in the past, that is how this has worked. And I know I've done it before, and it's worked just fine. And I'm just hoping that I keep these guys going and that they start breeding and get used to my water. Because of course they're coming from Minnesota, which has entirely different water. Yeah. And hopefully we have some cool, nicer guppies in the future at my work. And that's literally the whole point. I just want to bring them in and have them at my work. And hopefully my boss will let me set up a rack of 10-gallon tanks for them specifically so that we can have males and females. Okay, so guppies at my work are so ridiculously cheap. And they're all like the same guppies all the time. You get like the Eclipse guppies and Black Moscows, Tequila guppies, Sunrise guppies. It's basically the same ones every time. And they're all the males are $4.99, and then they just get mixed females, and they're $2, you know? And I'm like, okay, well, we're obviously not going to be able to find fancy guppies for that. Now I went to Keng Lee's place, and yeah, the guppies were significantly more expensive. One guppy was like $30, but if you buy a trio of guppies, it was $67 or something like that. But they're like high-end fancy guppies, so it makes sense. You know what I mean? They're not like mixed guppies, and it's not like the same guppies that are mass-marked and poorly produced and all that other good stuff. They're good guppies. So I don't know. I think it's worth it. I think we should just have a higher price for guppies and sell them for, I don't know, $10 each if I can get them going. If we can sell them for $10 each, that would be great. Maybe a discount if you buy a trio. Apparently fish are more expensive in the Midwest than they are out west. That's what my wholesalers are telling me, that they're just really cheap out here, probably because of the ports are so close. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. I don't know, I just want the industry to stay alive. Anyways, we'll see what happens. I'll give you guys an update when we find out what's going on. If you do want to go to my work, if you live close and local and you want to see what all we're trying to do there with our cheapest, like dirt cheap fish at Sierra Fish and Pets in Renton, Washington, that's where I work. Hopefully nobody calls and just like decides to troll me there. That'd be great. Anyways, see y'all later. Have a good day.